I'm about to tell you how life works. Well, actually, how a joke works. There's a setup and there's a punchline. The setup is the part of the joke that gives you background and context. You get your audience on the same page and you get them to move with you. The punchline is when you take a turn in a direction they're not expecting, and the result is fulfillment, revelation, and joy. Let me tell you about my setup. Coming to Chesterton as a freshman, I was completely obsessed with how people saw me. All I wanted was to fit in and be in certain groups and be accepted by certain people. I thought it was where I would find happiness and contentment, even though I knew in my head that I was more than the setup I added to my life. I just let myself become distracted with what my pride told me I wanted. I was living in my setup that I thought would bring fulfillment, but it led to loneliness. My years at Chesterton are really what changed my view about myself. Our class was going through a dark time, and there were so many issues that needed to be addressed, but none of us actually did. One day, we all decided enough was enough. Leaders stood up in my class and decided to confront the issues. It was the most connected my class has ever been, and I will never forget it. We talked a lot about legacy and how we wish to be remembered someday. We all talked about how much of a gift our lives are and how blessed we are to be together. It was then that my mentality switched. It suddenly hit me how much I had been loved and cared for at Chesterton, how my teachers were so passionate about every subject they taught, and how deeply they wanted to share that with me. The culture of life in the school hit me in that moment, and it made me realize that I was called to give like all these teachers have given for me. When they take their talents and their setup and turn it to use it for the good of their students, that's the kind of life that I wanted. That's when I realized they're living out their punchline. I asked myself a question. I said, Sophia, you know your setup. What's your punchline? How can you change the direction in a way that they're not expecting? For so long, I was using my setup to move everyone and everything in a direction that served me. Then, I realized what my punchline is. What if I stopped focusing on my setup and serving myself? What if I used my natural gifts for others? To give like these incredible teachers and leaders in my life. That's when I got the joke. You use your setup to deliver your punchline. So all along, the joke was on me. Because it was never about me, it's about everyone else. You give of yourself to serve others, and the result is fulfillment, revelation, and joy. That's how life works.